Well, that's okay because I don't have a whole lot either. In fact, I don't have any. Bill, have you got any? I just want to have something that I can put in the link because somebody wrote a note said, "Oh, there's no video for this," and I explained, "Yes, you have to go over and check the playlist because they're all right there." But there wasn't any for number 4, so I'm going to make sure that there's.
Oh, there is one.
There is one, even if it doesn't contain anything. You know. So.
Well, I had a bunch of questions, but
okay.
I got them all answered.
Oh, well, good.
I have to admit my usage of OBS is about a week ahead of my looking at the videos.
Aha.
And I was discovering this week that OBS is great for doing recordings because you can take the videos and manipulate them and have a couple on the screen, same as you would setting up regular scenes.
Yeah.
But what I found is that you upload 4 videos to a scene and your computer starts puffing smoke.
I see. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
I watched the videos this evening for this week. And yeah, all of the questions were answered. I lowered the quality of the video without losing much video quality itself. Mm-hmm. And just going from 1080 down to 720 reduces them down to anywhere from 1/4 to 1/3 of the file size. And then the other thing that Epos had mentioned was recording to an external drive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I plugged a stick in and it dropped it even more. So yeah, now it works really great. I love it. I can see using it for doing lots of video editing.
Yeah, most of the recording that I do, because I don't do, a bunch of live stuff with OBS anyway, almost all my recording is done to my local drive. Even when I'm using just Zoom, I rarely record to their cloud. I'd much rather record to my local drive because I know exactly what I'm seeing going to my local drive.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't play with the speaker and gallery view that much. Basically mine is get it up, do a screen share, let them follow the cursor to different things, and that's it. Yeah.
And not a lot of people are going to do a recording where they have 4 videos on the screen at one time.
That's true.
I'm trying to do an intro that's kind of Zoom related, so I wanted to be able to recreate the Zoom screen. And I don't have any programs or software that'll do that. I mean, you can't do it in Slides. You can't do it in Movie Maker. So OBS was the perfect solution now that I have it working.
Well, and that for me, I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, most of the time that I'm doing a recording, Zoom is perfectly adequate for me. Yeah. So, I mean, I could, but I sat here thinking to myself, well, some of this stuff is stuff that I'm probably not going to use, but then again, you never know. So,
well, like I was saying to Andrew last week, you never know, right? I mean, at least if you know it's there and it's available, mm-hmm. down the road, you might think, hey, you know what? That's. Yes. I mean, I always use Zoom too, and I never thought of really. I knew you could record in OBS, but I never really thought that I would use it for that. Mm-hmm. And here, all of a sudden, we are 3 weeks in, and I found a reason to do it. So,
well, and it'll be really fun to see what you produce, and you might find yourself convincing a whole lot of us that we need to do that.
Yeah, I went in and I watched the videos too. And there's some stuff in there that if I get ready to record, I know I need to do that first before I really start doing it, and that's good to know it just in itself. Even if I never use it, I know it can be done,
Yeah, and being able to specify the path where you want it to record to is really good too, because you can set that up ahead of time. And I mean, my first video, I don't know if I've ever found it. Or the first time I tested recording, I don't know if I ever found that recording. Actually, I did find it. It was on my D drive, which I don't even know why I looked there, but I did find it on the D drive. So, yeah.
It's there's more there than what I thought was there originally, you know, because I'm like you. To me, it was like that's how you stream, not necessarily how you record, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's good to know. I mean, this week we learned that recording you can use a lot higher settings than streaming. Mm-hmm. So you can actually record a lot higher video quality than you can stream. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought it was great this week.
Oh, what was the other thing I didn't? I said, oh, I didn't know what the difference between a bit rate, a bit and a byte were.
No.
Yeah, a byte consists of 8 bits.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. It depends exactly on what base the program is using, because a bit can be 7 bits depending on the operating system. If you go into see now, this is very, very old tech. I mean, back when they were doing CMPs and MS DOS was just getting started, but and the old bulletin board systems, they used a 7-bit byte, and they had to add an 8th one and do a whole bunch of. It got crazy there for a while. Thank God they standardized finally. Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
And the other thing that I thought was important to remember, even though, you know, some of those settings, I mean, when he talks about the bit rate that you choose, how dependent it is on the capability of your own system.
Yeah.
And the importance of doing before you set yourself up for something, you know, that's going to be lengthy or formal or whatever, or the importance of testing as you go, and testing and practicing, and you know, noticing. So I mean that's worthy of remembering.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to push 3 buttons and bang, it's done.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to, you know, they don't want to change this, do a test, see what it did, change the next thing. That, you know, they consider that a waste of time. And it's really not if you're interested in getting out a really quality product. I mean, that's what it takes to do it. You know, it's like, you know, anything else, like the lights. You know, you don't go out and buy 2 flashlights and put them on each end of a mop handle and that's your lighting system. It just doesn't work, you know.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, it used to be people said, you know, just get started. Do what you can with what you have, and that's fair. But I think we owe it to people. I think video is getting easier and easier for people to do good quality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we kind of owe it to the people that are watching the stuff to do the best we can and take that. I mean, I do some presentations that take me 3 or 4 days to create, and they're only anywhere from 20 seconds to 15 minutes long. But if you upload it to YouTube, chances are it's going to be there for life. So
yeah,
it's really it's a small amount of time to do the best you can, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why my last week's show, I had to go in and do some really major editing because I forgot to turn on the microphone.
and it wasn't that major, really. I mean,
no,
all you did is you went and re-recorded the pieces, dropped them into Movie Maker. You could have done it in OBS.
Michael forgets that every week on the game show. I mean,
well, that's why I wasn't beating myself up about it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, it's been a great course, I think, so far. Everything has been useful to me.
Well, I'm glad. I wish really that I used it more, but it's hard for me. Well, number one, it's hard for me to get enough people together to have any type of a panel or anything. Because at night, most people are tied up. During the day, I'm in the thing, especially since I started the 12-hour thing, although that's working perfectly. It's working just exactly like I wanted it to. People are coming and going and chatting, and I'm not even there, and it's just right on.
Oh, I should have come to I should have done that instead of texting you this afternoon.
You could have. I was there. Yeah, most of the time I'm there. Even if you come in and you see the picture that says room is open, I'm not here. Mm-hmm. I may be, my Roy account's there, and I can see the screen, but I'll be on this computer working, and it'll come up, and I'll see the second participant, and I can switch over and get on the other keyboard and stuff, I mean, like Michael right now, he's over there by himself, and he's doing something, I guess, making videos for his thing on
Wednesday
show tomorrow, or not Gord show, Scott Scrowcroft. Michael's going to be on his and Jesse's show. They record it tomorrow, and then they'll put it up Friday. And
you're a perfect example of how, you never know what you're going to use these things for. Like, who would have thought of opening it up? Well, you did, obviously, but who would have thought of opening the Zoom rooms for 12 hours and just being available to the community all day long?
Yeah, well, see, that's when I first started out doing the user-to-user community and using business hangouts. That's what I did. I opened it at 10 in the morning, went off at 10 at night. But that got to be old after a while, plus being on all that time. At that time, Comcast had a monthly limit of 300 gigs. And I was bumping up against that limit, and so I couldn't do that anymore. Now that they give me a terabyte per month in January with all this, and I've got two computers now. I sign on as Roy, and then I watch on Michael's computers to give him watch time to get up to that 4,000 hours. I've used 308 gigs, so I know I'm not going to go over my limit. So I'm free to do now, anytime I want. And yeah, it really, really, really works good. Yeah.
I think you really almost have to have two computers though to be able to do that.
Or 9.
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually.
What is it? Michael has 5 or 4.
No. Michael's got 4 monitors.
Monitors, right? Okay.
Right now, sitting right here, I could stand up and touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could touch 6 active computers, and I've got 4 Chromebooks packed away because they reached end of update life this month or next month. One of them's got a swollen battery. I don't want to plug it in anymore. Scared it'll explode. Unfortunately, that's the big one that I paid almost $2,000 for in 2015. It was that Pixel.
Wow.
That.
Yeah.
Well, I can throw something else out when we're talking about Chrome or Google Pixel. I still haven't found out what the hell's going on with my Pixel phone. I turn on a radio app and listen to it, and then shortly thereafter, another version turns on. So I've got one piling in on top of the other, and when I can go and turn one of them off, and so I can turn that off and get rid of that app, but there's no place to turn the other one off. The only way I can turn it off is to reboot the phone.
Okay. You need to get with Michael about that.
I know I do.
You really, really do, because he's
He's
Yeah.
got a. He and Heather both have a Pixel. I know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so there's no end to the things that we can learn.
Oh no. You know.
OBS seems to be a really well. I mean, the term I use for it is there is a great learning curve.
Oh yeah.
But the more it's like everything else, though. The more you work with something,
Mm-hmm.
the more comfortable it feels. Like today, when I was setting everything up for tomorrow's show, I got the instructions down now, and it was just a piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see whether the piece of cake tastes good or not tomorrow. But
yeah, the big mistake most people make is they want to do everything. Well, like Michael's game show, okay? They want to go on and they want that to be their first thing, using the voice meter to get the sound right and using the screen captures and the display captures and the rolling background and the scrolling and it. No, you add one little piece at a time till you get that one working right, and then you go on and you take the next little bite. And it saves a whole lot of frustration because I've been down that other path long time ago. You know, I can remember, well, when Multimate came out, if you all remember that word processing program from years and years and years ago, it was one of the first GUI interfaces. It wasn't text-based. And I was going to do everything, all at once. I drove myself crazy for 3 weeks. Then I went back to WordStar. That's how old Multimate was. And I said, okay, how did I learn this? And it was, all right, you learn one command at a time. So then I went back to Multimate, started reading, and I've done it all without reading except for going to one help page instead of trying to read the whole thing through first. And then once I started that, it became second nature after a while. But it's just, you take one little bite at a time, get that adjusted, and then go on. Otherwise, you choke yourself to death.
Well, and the other side of that, too, is as you learn one thing, it sets you up for the next thing down the road that you want to learn.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Google Slides can't be compared to OBS, but what I learned about layering and animating slides was a tremendous advantage for me with OBS.
Yeah. I certainly have enjoyed, all of those Google tools. I certainly haven't gone as far as a lot of people on them, but I use them for what I need them for, and they're wonderful.
Yeah,
well, we learn what we need to know right now.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
and we learn how to make it easier by making mistakes and stumbling onto things. And I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's like there was. I forget now what it was, but there was a thing in the Zoom webinar today. They took almost 20 minutes extra because there were so many questions. And Matt was going into detail about some of the settings that normally they sort of skim over because it's like, here's how you schedule, here's how you start it and everything. But he got down into like some of the email customizations this time. And there were some things I didn't even know it would do before, but I got to wait for the recording to come out tomorrow so I can watch it again to remember what they were.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's that's the only problem with me going to all these Zoom things. I forget which day they are and which day I'm supposed to get a recording, and I don't want the webinar since I don't use it. I'm just learning about it, but I know I won't ever use it probably. I need to start making some sort of list like I did for the Zoom meeting things with that separate collection that I started.
Yeah.
Well, I watched one of those the Zoom meeting things, and I found it very helpful.
Yeah, they really are. And like I say, once you learn pretty much the basics of Zoom, it's worth going to those things just to see what other questions are being asked. Because somebody always asks you about something that I don't know about in one of those meetings. It may be just one thing, but, I always learn something new there.
That's how we keep our brains alive, Andrew.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've got no trouble keeping my brain alive. It's the rest of the body that's bothering me.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
I'm trying to come up with a game show that would allow the use of breakout rooms.
Wow.
I'm thinking something like The Wall.
Yeah, I wish they had breakout rooms and webinars. I think they would be tremendous there. Yeah. Especially if they could find a way to get the recordings from the breakout room and put it back into the main recording without whoever the co-host is recording it and having to send it, and then you have to modify it, edit it to get it all in,
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is, But on some of the larger things, I think it would be worth it. It would be worth it doing it with 3 or 4 people, because you can always just sort of do that by yourself. Start and stopping a recording, just make different segments and then put them together in the order that you want,
Yeah. I can understand why they're not available in webinars, though webinars are usually pretty focused in kind of one way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
More so than a meeting or.
Yeah. The one thing I do like about the webinars is the separate chat and the Q&A. The fact that they've got 2 different things, one just for asking questions and one for the side chat that can go on, Of course, Zoom, when they do theirs, they turn most of theirs off. But so, well, it's almost 8:30. Do you want to adjourn this, and shall we join Michael over in the other room, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
Hang on. Let me get the link to give you all to join that other room. Where it is a AM alert? No, PM alert. PM alert. It is.
I got an invitation on my other screen to write a review of Zoom.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. As a highly valued Zoom user,
Oh,
we would love your opinion.
well, la-di-da.
Just a few minutes.
Okay.
They don't know that I just became a paying member about a week ago.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Oh, yeah.
So why would they call me a highly valued one?
They are as anal about gathering information almost as Google is.
Oh.
Yeah. So, well, that's the link to join the other room, and I'll be right over after I get this one closed out.
All right. See you there.
See you there.
Bye for now.
Bye. Got to close that. And meeting.